Marie. This morning we are going through lesson 16 in A Course in Miracles. I can hardly believe it's the 16th of January. I feel like this year has already been so rich and full. And so this morning I just invite you to take a moment to reflect on the year so far. How's it going? Are you proud of how you've lived? Are you proud of the days that have gone by? Choices made? Y'all, we get one shot. Today, we only get today that we know of. We only have one January 16th, 2026, and that I can be sure of. I'm going to go ahead and start with a recap like I normally do of the last lessons. Lesson 1, nothing I see in this room means anything. Lesson 2, I have given everything I see in this room all of the meaning that it has for me. Lesson 3, I do not understand anything I see in this room. Lesson 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room. Lesson 5, I am never upset for the reason I think. Lesson 6, I am upset because I see something that is not there. Lesson 7, I see only the past. Lesson 8, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Lesson 9, I see nothing as it is now. Lesson 10, my thoughts do not mean anything. Lesson 11, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Lesson 12, I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Lesson 13, a meaningless world engenders fear. Lesson 14, God did not create a meaningless world. Lesson 15, my thoughts are images that I have made. Now, lesson 16, I have no neutral thoughts. The idea for today is a beginning step in dispelling the belief that your thoughts have no effect. Everything you see is the result of your thoughts. There is no exception to that fact. Thoughts are not big or little, powerful or weak. They are merely true or false. Those that are true create their own likeness. Those that are false make theirs. There is no more self-contradictory concept than that of idle thoughts. What gives rise to the perception of a whole world can hardly be called idle. Every thought you have contributes to truth or to illusion, either to extend the truth or it multiplies illusions. You can indeed multiply nothing, but you will not extend it by doing so. Besides your recognizing that thoughts are never idle, salvation requires that you also recognize that every thought you have brings either peace or war, either love or fear. A neutral result is impossible because a neutral thought is impossible. There is such a temptation to dismiss fear thoughts as unimportant, trivial, and not worth bothering about, that it is essential you recognize them all as equally destructive, but equally unreal. We will practice this idea in many forms before you really understand it. In applying the idea for today, search your mind for a minute or so with eyes closed and actively seek not to overlook any little thoughts that may tend to elude the search. This is quite difficult until you get used to it. You will find that it is still hard for you to not to make artificial distinctions. Every thought that occurs to you, regardless of the qualities that you assign to it, is a suitable subject for applying today's idea. In the practice periods, first repeat the idea to yourself, and then as each one crosses your mind, hold it in awareness while you tell yourself, this thought about blank is not a neutral thought. As usual, use today's idea whenever you are aware of a particular thought that arouses uneasiness. The following form is suggested for this purpose. This thought about blank is not a neutral thought because I have no neutral thoughts. 4 or 5 practice periods are recommended. If you find them relatively effortless, if strain is experienced, 3 will be enough. The lengths of the exercises should be reduced if there is discomfort. Wow. Y'all, I don't know about you, but this lesson today was so good. Just a quick little hello to everyone here joining in the chat. I'm live on a couple of different streaming platforms, so just wanted to say hello to Rafa, Nicholas, good to see you, Ankush, good to see you, Sophia, Harry Payne, thank you for coming on here. Y'all, I'm going to actually reread a couple of sections from this lesson because honestly, this is so, so powerful. The idea for today is a beginning step in dispelling the belief that your thoughts have no effect. Everything you see is the result of your thoughts. There is no exception to this fact. Thoughts are not big or little, powerful or weak. They are merely true or false. Those that are true create their own likeness. Those that are false make theirs. There is no more self-contradictory concept than that of idle thoughts. Y'all, this is so powerful. Today, the charge is to take every thought captive, to like take it and pull it out of our mind and examine it. Is this true or false? Do I want this to stay or not? Is this destructive or life-giving? Everything that is not life-giving needs to go. And that's a radical concept. Any thought that is not life-giving needs to be removed from our minds. And no thought is neutral. So we've been talking about this over the last couple of weeks as we've been reviewing A Course in Miracles every morning. Each lesson builds on itself. Before we can implement real change, before we can implement a new pattern or a new program, a new way of being, we have to do away with the old. So this process today, which is very, very simple, is to just recognize that no thought is neutral. It's either giving life or it's taking away from our life. It's either adding oxygen or depleting us. And so to that point, I already set my alarm for today. I set it for 3 different practice periods for 60 seconds each, where I'm just going to repeat today's lesson to myself. And just a reminder of what they encouraged us to do, to actually every thought that we think, to examine it and say, this thought about insert whatever the thought is, and just reminding ourselves it's not neutral. And then tomorrow and the next, and we'll keep building on this. How do we implement new programs? Y'all, the power of the mind is probably one of the most important things we could ever learn, how to control our mind. And then once we start controlling our mind, we start controlling ourselves and we start controlling the world around us, because I so believe everything you see is the result of your thoughts. So if you're thinking beautifully, if you're thinking wondrously, you're going to see a beautiful, wondrous world. If you're looking at yourself through a lens of love, you're going to start loving yourself. If you're looking at yourself with judgment, you're going to judge yourself. It's the law. It's how the law of nature works. And so if we want to change something in our lives, we start with our mind. We start with our thoughts. So with that, just a quick thank you guys for coming on here. My Sports Roundup, good to see you. Aussie, Chris, thank you so much for coming on here. And I saw you say Turvit used. You said, now you must critique the thoughts about the thoughts. It's so funny. It is a little bit redundant when you actually start getting into this like visceral cycle of thinking about what you're thinking about, what you're thinking about. The goal is just to take the single thought, examine it, and just acknowledge that there's no neutral thoughts. So from there, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Happy Friday. And I will see you tonight on The Knowing Show around 8:30 p.m.